I think generally what I'm seeing a lot with everybody, but just high levels of anxiety all the time. And I think some of that is compounded by, you know, the phone and the way social media works and the way our communication works now, where it's constant, right? Everyone is constantly communicating, updating. They're always accessible, or they feel the expectation to always be accessible, which is really different than how it was for me growing up, right? Where, you know, we would use landlines, call, you have to talk to, you know, your friend's parents first to see if they're even
I
available.
didn't know you
Like,
were that old.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. No,
Mm-hmm.
we know all about that. That
Mm-hmm.
was hey, is Amy home? Can I talk to her? Yeah, hold on a second. Someone
Yep.
was on the phone. If it was a dude calling, that was always way more intimidating. Or in
Yep.
my case, I'm trying to think. Oh nope, no girls never called the house, but I called their house.
Yeah. So I think that is definitely impacting it, right? The feeling of not wanting to miss anything.
Right.
Um, Maybe the feeling of needing to keep up with it all, to present in a certain way all the time, not just at school.
I mean, now women are people are putting effects on themselves to make them look that much better, much less forget about makeup and lighting. But it's like, I think my daughter probably thinks about the angle of her eyebrow a lot more than young girls did even before that, because they're constantly bombarded with beauty, the picture of beauty. And I just don't know who you have to be to avoid that. Man, woman, young woman, I just seems unbearable.
I don't know if anyone is safe from it to a certain degree, which sounds kind of grim. But, you know, we're exposed to this all the time. And I'll speak from my perspective as, you know, a cis woman, you know, there's messages we're told all the time. Look this way, look that way, you know, be thin, but not too thin. You know, your hair looks this way, you know, look beautiful, but not too overdone, right? Makeup, no makeup. I mean, there's just all these messages and conflicting messages, and it's constantly changing because our society is sort of constantly changing. But
Is another thing, society changing is another thing that people, even your age, much less my age, but even younger people, are looking around, and whether it's rational or not, they're saying, I don't want to go out because I don't want to get a virus. I don't want to go out because I don't want to get shot. You keep seeing things in the news media, and then you apply them to your own life. I'm not worried about my kids or something going anywhere, doing anything. And then, not to mention the more existential issues of climate and the madness that Trump wrought and so on. How much of the anxiety that, at least that young people are dealing with, is kind of outside their home, maybe their school, their life, and more about society and what is happening in the world. There's a shooting, there's a pandemic, there's a crazy person that's our leader. How much of that is it?
Because we're so connected and we're getting information, lots of information all of the time, and a lot of it is uh, not so positive. I mean, it's scary, it's frightening. You know, I do believe that our experience during the pandemic was global collective trauma, truly. So there's that aspect of it. And I think there's a lot of sort of understandable nihilism that comes along with living in a world where,
Yeah.
you know, climate change, that whole aspect of things, the way our world's going to be, the weather's getting worse.
I
The
mean,
wealth
women's
gap is worse.
abortion. Women have a trans people, gay people, black and brown people have legitimate concerns about the threats posed to them or the rights being taken from them. And that's a real thing. And I think that's easy for some of us to forget, because no rights are necessarily being taken from you. But in a number of states, that would seem, I'm not sure how much of an issue that is to someone's core day-to-day life, unless I don't know. I mean, I just wonder how it comes up in therapy and how it comes up. You talked about collective trauma. I mean, it's so right. with
Yeah.
all of these things that are happening. I just wonder how much people are affected if they're connected to it.